Yo, what's up out there, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out for another Saturday. Going to talk about blues. I know it's a shock. You're shocked. It's shocking to talk about the blues right now. Uh, see all your comments here. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Josh Norco, Cooper, Isaac, Lila, Will J. Thank you so much. Ronald St. Johnson. All right. Well, I'm doing fine. Thank you for those nice comments. Check it out. There's a note in the blues scale, which you're probably going to use the blues scale for blues if it's called that. And there's one note in there that you take the minor pentatonic and you add this extra passing note, which means passing note means when you like land on the note and stay on the note, it doesn't sound good. It sounds good passing up a half step or down a half step. And so it's called the blues note or the flat five. And one of the most famous first places you'll see it, if I'm in the A minor pentatonic, so that's the root on the A note, 5th fret E string, and I'm going 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8, and then the other way. You can lay those out with a couple of those same notes lower and higher. It's still just the 5 notes of the pentatonic. It's just a different way that those 5 notes lay out. However, those 5 notes are not the blues note. The blues note is something you add to it. And so in the A blues, you go to this 7th fret G string. And so if I had a little like easy blues thing underneath it, so that's the little A7 blues groove underneath. 7th fret G string. One of the first things I discovered was the blues note, but I didn't even know it was the blues note because I just had an acoustic guitar and I'd kind of barely learned the pentatonic and I couldn't bend this note up a whole step. But I bent it a half step and it sounded really bluesy for some reason. Well, that's because that's the passing tone right there on the 8th fret G string. So when I say passing tone, you can take the 7th fret G string, pick it, and slide up and back because it never sounds good on the note like this. It's very dissonant. But if I play that note and immediately slide up a half step or down a half step, it sounds very bluesy. Check it out. So there's so many variations because you could start on the 7th fret G string and pick and slide up and back. Or I could start on the blues note and slide down. So the first one I did was starting on this note and going up and back. But then the second one I did was starting on the blues note and sliding down. Another one could be starting on that blues note and sliding up. And if I know where the rest of the scale goes from there, which would be 8-10, 8-10, and then you have the blues note again on that 11th fret high E. So check it out. Sliding up. Now you can also bend that blues note. So another way to look at that blues note, as far as just practicing the scale, would be take that minor pentatonic scale and you're going to add that blues note on the 6th fret A string. So it looks like this. And that's where you'll hear something like this. You know. You'll hear that blues note. You'll hear it in this kind of setting. So just running the scale, you're going to want to go 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7. And then here's that blues note again. 5, 7, 8 with your pinky. But you got it. That's the passing tone. So it's going to need to pass immediately up a half step, which in this position, you'd go like this. I'd go to the 5th fret B string, then 8, then 5 and 8 on the high E. So over that blues, I did those little slides. Josh Norco, super chat, thanks. That's where you hear that blues. I did it with a slide. So watch with that extended scale, the way you would do it is 3, 5 on the E string, 3, 5 on the A string. Hopefully you can hear that that's an octave lower than this part. Up. So those same notes are all over the neck of the guitar. So check it out. We go 3, 5, 3, 5 on the A. But then that little blues run of 3 notes, that's 5, 6, 7. So 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7. And once again, you get creative with how you implement that. So here are some ways. A little bend. Here's it with the slide. Here's that blues note going in up to the next half step. So check this out. 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 9, 8, 10, 8, 10, 11, 12. 12, 11, 10, 8, 10, 8, 9, 8, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 6, 5, 3, 5 on the E, which is the root, and then 1 below it. Like that. So now let's take a fun progression that you can practice the minor pentatonic over. It sounds a little something like this. A minor. And then A minor over G. So just take your pinky and go to that 3rd fret E string while holding that A minor shape. Then the next one, pinky off, thumb goes to 2nd fret E while holding that A minor. Then the thumb goes to the 1st fret. So you have A minor, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then the next half, A minor, G, D, E. So all together it looks like this. Okay, so I'll play the minor pentatonic, and you'll hear some of that, the blues note. Oh, baby, baby. Baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? I got out of tune there. All the bendies. So another really good blues scale to practice. So that was for the key of A, and then I played an A minor progression. But the key of E is the most common blues. I had a whole coffee over here. The key of E is probably the most common blues key. I'm looking at your comments as I talk at the same time. But thanks for tuning in so far. Not as warm as it was before. Okay. Still looking at your comments. I appreciate it. So when you're in the key of E, you now have the open blues scale. Which is another amazing thing about playing it in E. And so nothing changes, if you played this for the key of A flat would be a half step down. And then G would be here. G flat. Then F would be the first fret. But now E is now, we don't need that first finger to hit that row of notes. We have the open strings. Every open string is in E blues. So now we change our fingering. And so we go O3, but we use our open string and then our ring finger. So anything on the third fret is our ring finger. Anything on the first fret is our index finger. And anything on the second fret is our middle finger, which now puts our hand in one position. It's not moving around at all, and we're in one key, one scale. So check it out. O3, O1, 2, O2, O2, 3, O3, O3. Richard 1206 with the super chat. Thank you so much. Then, same thing. 3-0-3-0-3-2-0, 2-1-0 with the blues note, 3-0. And so that's E, under the sea. 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 Oh, under the sea. I'm gonna live with my deep blues under the sea. What was that? Well, thank you for the super chats. Austin Leon, when the D major scale, how does a B flat chord work in Eclipse by Pink Floyd if the song is in the key of D major? Well, let's just talk about D major. Let's look at the chords of D major. There's plenty of songs that don't have the chords perfectly diatonic key. There's these things called borrowed chords. I mean, I guess you could consider that music theory, but we have a D and E minors in there, which is the 2 chord. The 3 chord's F sharp minor. The 4 chord is G major. The 5 chord is A7. The 6 chord is B minor. And then the 7 chord is C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Which really, in music, we just play the 5 chord again, because that's kind of what we hear. So check this out, and that is no B flat, right? So then you can play A7 to D, and it'll sound like it finishes. You can hear the. So let's look at the relationship of. So the B flat in the key of D major is a favorite of the Beatles. Started using that movement a lot. They use it in a ton of songs. So if you're in the key of D major, I can use any of those regular chords I talked about. I can come up with a cool progression. But as soon as you go to that flat 6 major chord, you're hearing this kind of vibe. You're hearing the major chord, a whole step down, then another whole step down like this. And that dramatic flat 6 chord, which is what the B flat is, just immediately adds tension to a D major progression. So if I'll just take a real folky D major progression. Yep. Now, if you didn't recognize that, that was Nirvana. Same flat 6 major chord. If I change keys to A major, that flat 6 chord, which is not a bluesy thing, but you paid me $4.99 for this. What percentage of my college tuition I paid to get my music degree does $4.99 cover? I'm gonna need the Apple Vision Pro to create a bigger screen to see the 0.000s. No. Haha, we're having so much fun here, aren't we? You know, any key has those same borrowed chords. So the key of A, you can look at it by going whole step down, which would be called the flat 7. But then another whole step down is the flat 6. So in the key of A major, an F major chord would be that flat 6, that same tension chord. And so what was a Beatles song? So many Beatles songs use it. I think I just taught Strawberry Fields. It was like, let's see. Let me take you down because I'm going to. Nothing is real, nothing to get hung about. So the nothing to get hung about, that's a flat 6 chord to the 1 chord. So A major and F major, listen. Da, 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 da. Strawberry fields forever. Da, do, do, da, da, da. It's got that certain sound. But how's like Lady Madonna? Flat 6, flat 7, 1. And when that tension chord, so for right now, I'm in the key of A major. We're not playing blues anymore. But when you play that flat 6 chord, I can play A minor pentatonic and then resolve it to a more A major sound, because that's what you're getting, actually. That borrowed chords, like, without getting too deep into any kind of theory, you just can know that sound because it's in so many. Just listen to a bunch of Beatles songs and you'll if you listen to enough Beatles where you actually are following the chords, you'll start to see this is one of the chords. The other one they use a lot, borrowed chord, would be the minor 4 chord. So in A major, that would be D minor. Like, okay, here's another spot where that chord happens because I just heard it now in my head. Yeah, it's good. A couple things. Thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting. Next Saturday, I don't think I'm doing a live stream. So, but I'll pick it up again either in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'll let you all know. Thanks for watching everything. Let's see. The Hendrix course was supposed to end last night at midnight. My inspired by Hendrix course at martymusic.com. I'm going to just let that 50% discount run for any of you guys that might have missed it that are watching right now. I haven't advertised that it's still at 50% anywhere else. So I'll just leave it up for a few more hours, and then it's going to go back to the regular price. But right now it's at 50% off. Next Tuesday, but it's specifically in Nashville. I'm going to be playing with the Pitch Meeting Band next Tuesday at Cannery. So look for that. If you're in Nashville, come on out to that. It's totally free. And if you're not in Nashville, look for some footage and stuff, because there'll be a lot of footage from that. I've had some really good clips from that, which has been always fun to see later. So those are those things. Happy birthday to Jared James Nichols. We're going to be pumping some iron later, and then we're going to get into the cage match. I'm going to rip his wig right off, you guys. OHMV for the $5 super chat. Small token for all the knowledge so far. Thank you so much. But that flat 6 chord, what's interesting about that is, like, if you talk to Paul McCartney, he says he knows zero music theory. Okay? So a lot of times when you say you don't need music theory to play good, and Kurt Cobain used that same method, right? He didn't. I know Kurt Cobain didn't know that was the flat 6 chord, but his ear knew it was. He didn't know that's what it was called, or like the mechanisms of it, but he knew the relationship to be able to go to that chord. So his ear knew the theory. The actual theory is just like how to name it and describe it so you can teach it, pass it on. But ultimately, these sounds are always there, whether you know its theory or you don't want to know any theory. If you hear 4 or 5 songs with that relationship and you're developing as a musician, you're then going to, implement that into your vocabulary, whether you know its theory or not. So a lot of times the arguments about theory, it's really like semantics, because I've seen clips where Kurt Cobain says, shouldn't know anything, not the names of the chords. I don't know anything, right? But he was still using that same stuff. So that's what worked for him. So he was still using it, though. But it's just internalized. They might not know that it's called those things or why that works. But if I see, I know, has a certain sound, or if I play this, I know that has a sound, right? All right. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do one more jam, though. One more jam. Why not? Here we go. Oh, what happened? One more jam for the folks out there. Thanks for watching. And that was the major scale, not Mixolydian. And I was mostly playing the A major pentatonic for that. That's whenever you hear that kind of soulful, happy, kind of almost country or southern rock, Allman Brothers kind of thing, it's this. Which the A major pentatonic is the same thing as the F sharp minor pentatonic, but instead you're playing it over A. Flat 6, flat 7, and then A. See you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks. Keep playing guitar. Have fun. Hendrix is running out.